I was telling you at the break, this terrible shooting on Saturday night at the Nationals and Padres game in Washington, D.C. 4 shots ringing out. Now, we're going to play this for you. First, I want to, let's play the second video there, Alex. It's the one that says gunshot vid. Let's listen to the announcers as they take it to the break, and take a listen. You're going to hear 4 pops in this, and this is when the players kind of knew something was going bad.
Slider up in the zone. Gets Myers swinging. Padres put 3 more on the board. 8-4.
I counted 7 shots. 7 pops. That is in the concourse. In the concourse of that stadium. Guys, we go to a baseball stadium. That's the last thing on our minds. Terry.
You feel safe at a baseball game, but you know what? This society that we're living in, and you know, this is nothing new, but it's just scary. People have been cooped up. Now they have a little freedom, and now with the freedom, I can just do whatever I want to do. You don't go to a baseball game with a gun, first of all, and then bust a cap in somebody's
ass. How'd you get in there? Don't they pat you down anymore?
They do. I was there Father's Day weekend at Nationals Park, and you get you go through the metal detectors. They kind of check and see if you've got anything there. It just depends on how diligent the person is to make sure if it beeps and if they do the wind and all of that.
Bro, have you seen the people that check you in there?
Yeah.
They're all like 90 years old.
It depends on how diligent they are with that. That's my one caveat.
Man.
What are you sure it was in the concourse? Wasn't it outside the stadium?
It says in the concourse. So it could have been the concourse outside the stadium, but it was on the stadium grounds.
Yeah, because I was heard.
Those were initial reports. Initial reports always change as more information comes in.
We're going to have Rob Parker. He was at that game. He's going to come on. Put on Andrew's microphone. He's going to tell us something as well.
Yeah, my brother's friends were at that game.
Wow.
Yeah, they're at the game. So my brother, he got a text from his friends saying, I showed up my brother like, hey, like, see what happened in the Nationals game? My brother was like, yeah, my friends were there. They were at the game. They heard the gunshots. They thought they were in the stadium. They heard they were outside the stadiums, and they ran to the hotel, and they were just in their hotel the rest of the night. It was crazy.
People were hiding in closets. They were running into concession stands. Players were helping. I'll show you a video of players helping people off, their family, obviously, but other people, getting them in the dugout and getting them to safety. Let's put up the scoreboard message that finally came up to tell people what to do here at Nationals Park, and there it was. And it's basically, this was after a few minutes. They didn't know what was happening. People just started taking matters into their own hands and just going for it. And this next video I'm going to show you, you'll see Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. There's another player as well trying to help the fans at the game. Check this out.
At the ballpark where they would be manning their cameras, they have been notified to leave. Moving these people definitely in this area down there on the right, and some are coming off from the stands into the Nationals dugout to get away. Yeah, people are letting dugout into the Padres dugout now too.
That's a freaking ball game, man, and we got plenty more coming up. Our good friend Rob Parker, nice enough to join us. He's on vacation. Of course, I had to call him. He's not on West Coast time today. At least he's on East Coast time. And Rob Parker, welcome to the show. We're glad you're okay, and we're sorry what happened, man, over the weekend.
3 of my favorite people in Detroit. Unbelievable. My God.
I just want to make sure you didn't get shot.
No. And let me correct. It was outside the stadium.
Okay.
On the concourse. It was 2 people in cars shooting at each other, and a third person got shot. But I was sitting on the first base side near right field with 3 of my buddies, and when we heard the pops, I knew they were gunshots, and I was like, what is going on? I look up, and I see people screaming, not like walking, running to, and Rod, you notice you've been to Nationals Park. Center field is a big entrance and exit to the stadium, and they were running to get out of the center field, exit. And when I saw that, then I looked down on the field. There were no players on the field, no umpires, nobody in the dugout. So I knew something was going on. I said to my buddies, hey, let's get out of here. We get out of our seats. We go up to the concourse. And as soon as we get to the concourse and start heading for the center field exits, all of a sudden, people are running towards us with horror on their face. So it frightened me because I was like, the only reason people would be running like that is because there's a gunman or two coming this way shooting people. So me and my buddies, we burst into a office that was used to, for concessions, and ran into a closet, and basically was in there with like 9 other people trying to stay out of the way, not knowing what was going on. And literally, I had never been more scared in my life because I really thought there was a shooter in the stadium shooting people. I had no idea.
Rob Parker, a good friend from Fox Sports, of course, back here in Detroit. We still call him our own. And he's got a great website now, MLBBro.com. We saw his story today on Deadspin. Check him out. But, Rod, go ahead. You got something for your man, Rob?
No, it's just when you said it earlier, Maz, when you're in a ballpark like that, you let your guard down. And for a lot of people, they're not paying attention to the game or keeping score. But when you see something like that, it's hard to react to it. Your instinct is just to kind of figure out, like Rob said, what's going on. Because it's not even like you're in a mall or you're somewhere else. In a baseball park, that's the last thing that you think is going to happen.
It's true.
No doubt about it.
And I was going to say, but we live in a society where there are active shooters and snipers. I mean, you could be at a concert. You can be a ball game. I mean, you just never know when something stupid like this is going to happen. It even happens in schoolyards. So you never know.
And Terry, your point is well. That's why I didn't take anything for granted. I had no other way of thinking. If people are running towards you, right, and they have a look of terror and the screams of the women screaming, I thought to myself, my God, what is happening here? And my first reaction or instinct was to find a place to hide because I just didn't know what was coming behind those people. And as we found out later, it happened outside. There was never a gun or a shooter inside the stadium, but it didn't feel like that. It was a terrifying moment, on vacation, hanging out. And it was a great night to just watch baseball, hang out with your friends. We had seen Tatis go 4 for 4. You know what I mean? The weather was great. Hot dogs taste good. It was a nice night. I was enjoying it.
Rob Parker joins us. I heard that when you guys ran into that utility closet, there was a woman there that had, didn't she have post-traumatic syndrome? And she was very, very upset. You guys talked her down?
Absolutely. She was distraught and crying. She was a worker, and she didn't have her medication, and people comforted her. And then there was another little boy and a father who was separated from the mom and I think a sister, a 5-year-old boy hiding under a desk wearing a Tatis shirt and Padres hat. And we had to calm the young man down as well, that it's going to be okay. But I can imagine how traumatic that was for him. And it was so chaotic that people were being separated from their family and friends. One of my buddies, Fred, was separated from the group I was with because there was just a crush of people, and you couldn't go where you wanted to. You know what I mean? You were like steered to go because the crowd would push you. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think the secondary thing that you should be thankful for, no one in the stadium were shot, but there was no stampede where people were killed or injured and stuff like, because this is exactly how stampede begins.
And you know what, Terry? You're right. I saw some people fall, but it wasn't like a stampede. But somebody could have been seriously hurt. It was amazing that nobody did because it was sheer panic and nobody really knew what was going on. And we didn't get a message until we saw on a TV screen that they said it was safe finally to leave the stadium. But up until that whole time, it seemed like it was a 2-hour ordeal. But it probably more like 20 or 30 minutes. But when it finally was over, then we realized, okay, we can leave. But up until that point, I had no idea. I never saw any cops, never saw any security people, never heard a PA announcement. So I didn't know what was going on. And it's scary when you don't know.
Rob Parker, Fox Sports, joins us. He was at the Washington Nationals and San Diego Padres game. That active shooter outside the stadium now, we find out, at Nationals Park on Saturday night to stop the game. I think it was the 6th inning or so. But I want to show you guys a piece of video and listen to this audio. This is an 8-year-old girl. They interviewed her after the game. She was at a game. They interview her. Listen to her answer.
I just saw people looking that way, and I didn't know what was going on until I heard someone say get down, so I just started going under the seats.
Oh my gosh, how are you feeling?
It was my second shooting, so I was kind of prepared, because I always am expecting something to happen.
It was my second shooting. I always expect something to happen.
That is unbelievable. That's for an 8-year-old girl to have experienced that and to be like, okay, yeah, I'm expecting something bad to happen. Wow.
And you know what, guys? You know how you can tell Rob is from New York? I'm sure people there didn't know if it was firecrackers or gunshots.
He knew.
Rob knew right away. Oh, no, these are gunshots.
Hell no. Hey, Terry, you're 100% right. I know a firecracker from a gunshot.
Right.
And I was like, those are shots. There was no doubt in my mind. And thank God no one was killed and nothing serious. But I'm sure there's going to be a reinforcement of, security at all major league ballparks, even though the gun wasn't inside. And you know this, Rod. At baseball stadiums, it's not enclosed, so you can see what's going on in the street. And I'm sure when they heard the shots, they could see what was going on, and that's why they ran, because those bullets can come through the fencing.
Yeah, and more than that, you got the apartment buildings that are right outside that outfield fence. So when you start thinking about active shooter, it could be somebody in the apartments who's sniping down. You have no idea. So I can imagine the chaos that's going on and just trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And the point that you mentioned about the friend getting separated, I mean, that's what my son and I do every time we go is we might just walk around and be away from our family or friends that we go with. So that separation is the other piece, is that you're wondering if everybody's okay that came with you or that you're hanging out with that particular day. So it's just chaos and anxiety. But, good job, America. We've got this gun control thing all under control here.
Oh.
I wish we did. My God. Hey. But I'm on my vacation. Next stop is Chicago. I'm going to a White Sox game. Then I'm going to St. Louis for a Cubs-Cardinals game.
Love it.
Then I'm going to Cincinnati for a Reds game. So baseball is all throughout my vacation, and I think the worst is behind me. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy some good baseball and eat a lot of good food, guys. So I appreciate you having me on, too.
Yeah, no Comerica Park?
He's been here.
No,
already.
well, I was in Detroit already earlier this year, so not on this trip.
He's trying to see good baseball.
Oh,
it is good baseball.
No, they're above 500 since May 16th or something.
Oh, my
Very
goodness.
nice.
Here we go.
Rob,
Here
enjoy
we go.
the rest of your day. Thanks for taking time out of your lunch.
See you, buddy boy.
See you, Rob.
Always, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, before you go, MLBBro.com. What is it?
Yes, check out the website. Rod Beard wrote a freelance piece, a beautiful piece about going to baseball games with his sons. We loved it. We cover black and brown players, leagues. It's a fun site. It's insightful. You can follow all the black and brown players in the league. I'm excited about it, and give it a chance. MLBBro.com.
Thanks, Rob. We appreciate you, man.
Be good.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Rob Parker joins us on the hook. So there you go, guys. You couldn't get a better guy to talk about the story than that.
That is true, but we made a huge mistake.
What was that?
None of us said, come on.
Come on, man.
It's a little heavy. Topic's a little heavy, so.
It was.
Right.
Hey, it's Maz for Legacy Partners Insurance. You need insurance, they've got insurance. LegacyPartnersINS.com/Woodward Sports.